Yo Chinos, what is up? Welcome back to another YouTube video where in today's video we are playing Five Nights at Freddy's Part 3. This is part of the FNAF Fridays YouTube series just for the month of Halloween special to you. So we are going to attempt night 4. So excuse me for being a little quiet while I play. We have to strategize, which I'm pretty sure the strategy was closed, right? Yeah. Closed door. Check, check.
Oh, hey. Wow, day 4. I think you can do it. Hey, listen.
I don't know if I can do this. Strategy is to check Foxy every few times. Every so often, I'll check for Foxy. I have failed. You know what's funny is I know that when I open the camera, Bonnie will fight me. I just know. Ugh, that was kind of creepy. Okay. I think I got this. This time. I've said this, like, for 2 other times. I don't think I do have this. Okay, so Bonnie's started to move. Is he moving already? There's no way. Oh my god. There's no way. There is no way. Shut up! Get away from me! Oh my god, shut off. There's no way, Freddy. There is no fucking way. There is absolutely no way. I'm doing really good at keeping Freddy where he is. Please, 4 a.m. I check on Foxy every once in a while. driving. He's already here! He wants me. Freddy? Hi. Hi. You and I need to have a chat about personal space. Truly? I think if we communicate a little bit more, 6 a.m., 6 a.m., please, 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 6 a.m. Oh my god. Okay, I need to reconvene and look at some strategies real quick. Okay, I've reconvened. I still do not think I have this. But let's do this anyways. Okay. Like, why would anyone build this place in the first place? Okay, so Foxy's gonna be a pain in my butt. Sounds good. We're at 82% already, so not too bad. I don't know how to feel about Foxy constantly trying to murder me. I had to read up some strategies for this because apparently I just kind of suck. So Foxy's gonna be a little bitch. I almost need to rewatch Markiplier play. One, two, close, open. My goal is to keep Freddy as far away. I don't know if I got this. I'm gonna reconvene again. Okay. Oh my god. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to beat this. Okay. I have a feeling Freddy's gonna be a bitch tonight. Okay. So we're gonna start by checking. my god. Foxy's. Okay. I need to find a way where my arm isn't like pushing back the entire time because. Alright. Okay, we're back. Let's try this. We're doing a new strategy, guys. We're gonna do a whole new strategy, okay? It's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a whole new strategy, and I'm so... Sorry for the spam! Okay, Chica's gone.
Hey, wow, day 4. I think you can do it.
Sorry, had to meet the call. Alright, so basically the whole point of this new strategy was to do light, camera, and basically repeat that the entire time. And so as you guys can see, that is what I'm doing. I'm using Chica's sound cues as well to kind of conserve power. And this was actually one of the strategies that I went and watched a full video for, just to make sure that I was going to be doing the strategy correctly. Now, I do look quite focused, and that kind of shows because I'm trying to make sure I nail this strategy because it was the first time I was doing it. And so, as you guys can see, I will be making sure that animatronics are where they are, and also making sure that there is no animatronic at the door. The biggest thing with this strategy is always listening for sound cues. If you hear Chica in the kitchen, you can conserve power by not checking her haul. And if you hear them closer, a lot of the time you can kind of hear a buzzing noise, kind of like a metallic kind of glitch noise. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm using a lot of the sound cues to figure out where the animatronics are as I'm playing. Someone's moving. Okay, and as you guys can see, I'm kind of starting to look a little bit more. I'm listening to Chica, actually, finding out that she's still in the kitchen, so that is very helpful to conserve power. There is a point where I get a little bit flustered, and you'll see in a second here, I forget to do light, camera, and that's just because, again, the strategy is very new to me, and I'm not very aware on how I should be doing this, so there are times where you see that I just do light, camera, kind of like the old strategy, whereas the new strategy is a light, camera. And so Chica pops up, you know, remain calm, that's the vibe, always checking for Foxy, and so sometimes it's a little hard to hear the animatronics actually walking away, and that one can become a little bit tricky as you're trying to conserve power but also, you know, trying not to die. And I actually learned as I was playing, you don't actually have to be looking directly at Foxy. If you're wondering where Foxy is, you can always check every hour if he's still at the Pirate's Cove. Now, you don't have to directly be looking at him, you just have to have the cameras open, just like I'm doing, and it'll slow down both Foxy and Freddy. Foxy usually just knows the cameras are on and he's like, might as well not show up, because he's kind of like that, he's camera shy. And Freddy, it'll just stop him a little bit more because, you know, he moves around and it's kind of fast. You can always tell where Freddy is by the number of laughs. The first laugh, he will end up in the party room. The second one, he ends up by the bathrooms, I believe. And then the third time, he is in the East Hall, and just keep the camera there and it'll slow him down. Now, it is already 3 a.m. and I did check where Foxy was just to make sure, but as you guys can see, again, I kind of falter a little bit with the new strategy, so that just goes to show it is a little bit hard to learn a new strategy, but eventually I started to understand it using the sound cues as well, and so that's how this new strategy has been going for me. Great. I genuinely don't know if I'm ever going to complete this. No, because my arm keeps like moving back when I play, guys. So whenever I lower, it keeps lowering itself when it shouldn't. Guys, I really don't know if I'm gonna get through this. I really don't know. Alright, so as you guys can see, I immediately begin to spam the screen. Now, the video that I watched the strategy from, I can't remember which video, but he explained to immediately spam the screen to slow down Freddy immediately. It also sometimes slows down Bonnie and Chica. Now, Chica and Bonnie, as you guys can see, are still already on the stage. They haven't moved yet. Now, sometimes it works like that where it's just very beneficial. As you guys can tell, the second that I took my eyes off the camera and used the light, Chica began to move. Bonnie still remains on the stage. And that's possibly because I haven't looked away from the camera long enough yet. Now, usually, if it's less than 3 seconds, you guys should be fine, as I'm still fine, but it all kind of depends. Sometimes the AI modes are different, sometimes they like to be a little bit more complicated, whilst other times they like to be a little bit more easy. Now, we can hear Chica in the kitchen, so that's why you haven't seen me turn the lights on yet until about now, where I am looking at the lights and I'm checking the hallway. Now, Chica's cues are a little bit more loud, I would say. You can hear her steps, but the steps go for both Bonnie and Chica, where you can hear them. Sometimes, if you aren't necessarily paying attention too much to sound cues, it can sound like the footsteps are coming from either the left or right hall, but you just really have to listen. That's one of the interesting things about Five Nights at Freddy's, is that it is very much a listen type game, where there is the sound cues. The camera can help, but there are a lot of the time the sound cues. I've seen some strategies out there where it's like you don't look at the camera at all, but I don't think I'd be able to do that, just because that would require you to keep the right door closed the entire time. There have been some strategies where it is keeping the left door closed the entire time, which is very interesting because that would suggest that you aren't necessarily looking at the cameras a lot. And that is exactly that strategy that I just explained, is that they actually aren't looking at the cameras whatsoever. I did spend a lot of time looking at different strategies for FNAF Night 4, because Night 4 seems to be one of the hardest because it is the first night where all the animatronics are quite active and looking for a little night guard to take a bite out of their frontal lobe. And as you guys can see, I am not for my frontal lobe being smonched on. Yep, that's a new word. And there are a few times, like, I actually am moving my head as the screen turns to the different areas, and that's actually something that I do even when I'm playing with my Switch. I'll physically move my body. Now, Chica's still in the kitchen, so I can just conserve power and look through this hall, and yeah. I'm waiting for Foxy to go, because Jesus Christ. And so now I'm just, as I said, waited for Foxy, who has knocked on the door, but Bonnie happens to still be at the door. So I'm, again, listening for sound cues to conserve power so that I don't have to use the light to constantly check on Chica. Now, Bonnie, a lot of the time I find when playing Night 4, he likes to stay right beside the door for extended periods of time, and so does Chica. Earlier in this video, I had it where there was both Chica and Bonnie at the door. Now, that actually quite annoyed me because it took so much power from me. And so Chica is still in the kitchen, which is perfect because that allows me to, again, save power and make sure that Bonnie isn't at the door, and also just listening out for those footsteps. Now, Freddy still remains on the stage, which is absolutely perfect because I struggled a lot, especially when learning this strategy and playing Night 4 for over 2 hours, that Freddy just continuously liked to move around if I wasn't looking at the camera long enough. It's almost as if Freddy wants the attention, but Foxy doesn't. So it kind of works in the favor of turning the camera on quite often. And now you guys can see that I am actually finally getting the hang of the strategy of light camera. And I didn't check the Chica door a couple times just because, again, I can hear the cues of her in the kitchen, so I don't need to actually look. There are the odd times where I just want to double check, make sure that Foxy hasn't actually moved outside of the curtain too much, because sometimes when you look away for even just a second, Foxy likes to move immediately, so this game requires a lot of speed. There's the odd time I check the Chica door, even if I can hear her in the kitchen, just to make sure that Freddy maybe hasn't moved without me noticing. But again, Freddy has the sound cue of a laugh, and that will let you know how close or where he is. Now, I'm closing that door because I actually didn't hear Bonnie. Honestly, I did not hear him whatsoever. I was a little too hyper-focused on making sure Freddy was where he needed to be. Now, it is 4 a.m. and we're kind of chilling. I am a little bit more serious because, again, I have been playing for about almost 2 hours and my wrist was getting really sore, so I was really hoping for this one to be the game that I win. Foxy looks like he wants to be let out. Now, as you guys can see, I'm not actually turning so often to check the door where Bonnie is at because I am listening out for the footsteps of walking away. Now, those walking away footsteps are very faint and very hard to hear. And so it can be a bit of a struggle for the player to hear if Chica or Bonnie have moved away from the door. At least with Foxy, it is quite easy. Now, sometimes the light doesn't like to shut off, and then that delays me from looking at Foxy and or Freddy. And so Bonnie just likes to show up this entire night. Bonnie was being actually a very mean boy. He kept showing up at the doors, which is why at about 5 a.m. here I was worrying a little bit more about my power conservation. I don't know how you want to say that word. Tell me in the comments below how you say conservation. I don't know. But as you guys can see, I'm only checking Chica because Foxy has knocked, I believe, on the door. I think Foxy did knock on the door, and that's why I was also waiting. And Bonnie's back. Okay, Bonnie is just being a little... He's not being nice, okay, guys? He's not being great. And so I honestly look way too serious for playing Five Nights at Freddy's. But I'm just checking the lights, checking the cameras, you know, repeat. This is a strategy that you guys can also use if it's your first time playing night 4. And I find that it works really well because you're conserving enough power. You're conserving enough power that you can make it to about 5 a.m. like I am. And so, yeah, this strategy is really good. I would recommend it if you guys are going to be playing Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time. Okay, guys, I think we've done it. Guys, as long as Freddy takes his grand old time, takes his time. Freddy, you're really beautiful. Did you know that? I love your... Yes! Woo! We did it. No, we're not going into night 5. Before it throws us off into night 5, thank you everybody who came and watched the video today. I hope you guys have an amazing day or night, wherever it is you are. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, Chinos.